Once upon a time, 3 curious teenagers named Alex, Emily, and Liam were alone at home during a stormy night. They got a little bored and decided to explore their attic. Among the old things, they found a dusty Ouija board covered in cobwebs. With excitement and a bit of nervousness, they cleaned up the board and its pointer thing. They lit candles for light and sat around the board on the attic floor. They put their hands on the pointer and waited, feeling both scared and intrigued. Emily whispered, "Is anyone here?" The pointer started moving slowly and landed on yes. They felt a mix of fear and excitement but didn't stop. "What's your name?" asked Liam, sounding a bit scared. The pointer moved again, spelling out M-A-L-I-C-E. Alex felt a chill. "Are you a good spirit?" he asked. The pointer suddenly moved more forcefully and spelled out N-O. The friends were scared, but they kept going. "Can you show us you're here?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. The pointer beneath our fingertips began to move strangely, spelling out W-A-T-C-H. As those letters formed, a chill ran down my spine. Suddenly, the lights above us began to flicker, casting eerie shadows around the attic. We exchanged nervous glances, and before we could react, the room plunged into darkness. Panic filled the air as the flickering lights painted eerie shapes on the walls. The room felt suffocating, and a sense of unease settled over us like a heavy blanket. Then, without warning, all 3 of us collapsed, our consciousness slipping away. When I regained consciousness, the room was shrouded in darkness. Confusion clouded my mind as I realized it was now midnight. Panic surged within me, and I scrambled to my feet. Fear gripped my heart, and I realized Alex and Emily were nowhere to be seen. In a frenzy, I rushed to the attic door, desperate to escape. But before I could reach it, I was gripped by the horrifying realization that I was not alone. My friends were trapped outside, and the room had transformed into a chamber of terror. As I fumbled to lock the door, a haunting silence fell. Suddenly, it became clear that one of us had been left behind, and it was too late to save them. The room resonated with blood-curdling screams, and the sounds of a gruesome struggle echoed in the air. My heart raced as I mustered the courage to peer through the door's crack. The sight before me froze my blood. Alex's lifeless body impaled with knives, a dark figure looming over it, its malevolent gaze locking onto mine. In a frenzy, I slammed the door shut, my heart pounding against my chest. My remaining friend and I rushed to the window, dialing the police with trembling hands. As we waited for help, the door rattled violently, as if something sinister was trying to break free. Then, an eerie silence fell over the room, making the air even heavier. Suddenly, Emily was yanked out of the window with a scream. Panic surged through me, and I dove under the bed, covering my mouth to stifle my own cries. My heart pounded in my ears as I watched in horror as Emily's lifeless body was thrown back into the room. The floor was awash with blood, and her head hung grotesquely from her neck. Dread consumed me as I realized that the malevolent entity was toying with us. The loud police sirens shattered the quiet night. I hurried to the door and opened it, just as a scary figure appeared in front of me. It was my friend's body, not moving and looking really scary. He hit me in the face, and I got thrown out of the window, everything spinning into darkness. When I hit the ground, it hurt so much that I felt like something inside me had broken. I could barely breathe, and my left hand was throbbing with pain. Despite the pain, I managed to stand up, feeling dizzy and confused. As I struggled to get my bearings, I looked up at the window. My friend was there, but something was terribly wrong. He was smiling, but his eyes were empty, like there was nothing behind them. It sent shivers down my spine, and I couldn't understand what was happening. Suddenly, everything went black. I didn't even have time to react, and I fell into unconsciousness. The night that had been so full of chaos and terror now engulfed me in a blanket of darkness. Hours later, I woke up in a hospital bed, surrounded by worried faces. I tried to explain what had happened, but the words came out in a jumble. My ribs hurt, and my hand was in a cast. Finally, as I looked around at my friends and family, I managed to say the few words that echoed my lingering fear. He was gone, but he was still here.